ask a question and expound on that question. Like let it grow and let things come from it instead of like trying to check the boxes.
Yeah. So a thing is that it's hard for us that we'll like, and we do this in text, because even I caught myself. It's like, oh my God, I'll ask a question and immediately follow up with another question. So I
do that all the time.
So for him as like a hunter, right? He's still thinking probably of the first question. First of all, he might have been busy. Right? Mm-hmm. He hasn't even thought about that. But why? Because we're multitaskers.
Yeah.
We can and I'm not saying men are not multitaskers but we are.
They're not the greatest at it.
Yes. We're natural at it. Yeah. We are literally natural multitaskers, but men have to learn to be multitaskers. No,
I don't think it's not that we're not multitaskers. It's that when we are dealing with, like, so if you ask me a question, I want to make sure I've thoroughly answered and dealt with that question before moving on to the next question, because I don't want to come back to it. And so if you're doing rapid fire questions, then oftentimes what happens is you get to question 4, and then all of a sudden you're backtracking the question back to question 1. Or your question 5 was answered in question 1, but you weren't really paying attention to what I said with my answer with question 1. And then now I'm frustrated because I'm like, bitch, didn't I tell you? I said 5 o'clock. Like, why are you asking me again? Like, you know what I mean?
But men are very single focused.
Yeah, because y'all don't answer all the questions. Focused. That's why we have to ask.
We have more of diffused awareness. We really do. Like, we are very, very different. We need to learn to be a little bit more like you, right? You guys can kind of lean a little bit more towards us too, because would it be great for you to learn a little bit about getting, connecting and, with gathering information, asking us questions too? It would be nice. It would make us feel so good, but it's not natural, and it's not natural for us either.
I feel like me personally, I do ask
you probably do, but in terms of, I'm talking about men.
Like
I'm talking about the men in here.
Oh shit!
Those are their listening.
Lord,
our listeners.
She's talking about you, bro.
Another thing is men date. Women do not know how to date.
Y'all can't date.
We do not know how to date.
You're getting better at it though. You really are.
I think with a lot of the different, programs and podcasts and stuff like that, but naturally men date. We are planning for the future. We want to see so if we go on a date, I'm like, okay, can I see him in a long-term relationship? Can I do this? So now I'm planning for the future. Like for me, all of a sudden it's about the future where you're just like, wow, this steak was really good. Oh yeah, this steak was good.
Because we know the crazy's coming, so we just enjoying the moment. We're enjoying the same moment right now. That's what that is. It's not that we don't think about. We are thinking about the future. We just know the future's gonna be fucked up. So let's enjoy this nice present.
Well, yeah, and I think another thing is
Jesus. It's not that bad.
Goodness.
For him, maybe.
Nah.
But we listen very intently. We listen, we plan, and we kind of go on promises, right? Mm-hmm. We kind of hang on to those promises. So it's really difficult. We need to slow down. You guys are a good pace. It's us that we're just, but at the same time, it's an instinct of ours, depending on where you are in life. If you're younger, we have an instinct that we literally have a biological clock ticking that we can't control, right? Whether we want children or not, we have this instinct in us that it's kind of like, we have that procreation instinct.
I would challenge you some of that. Now, I knew that not the biology part of it, but I think a lot of the sense of urgency that you have is because of this nasty patriarchal system and it's been ingrained in our DNA, right? So, we take it back. Why did people get married? They didn't get married because God was like, God damn it, you guys, 1 for 1, blah, blah, blah. No, it was a system of protection for you. Because women couldn't own shit, couldn't work shit, couldn't have shit. Everything that you had come to you by way of male.
Very true.
Having a man. So you can't be out in the world on your own. And so we have centuries of that toxic shit in our DNA. And now we're to a point where it's like, no, you don't need a man for next to nothing. Survival. You don't need
not
it.
Anymore.
So, not anymore. So I think now we have to overcome that. Our DNA has been altered.
But I feel like that instinct is in us because we know that we need a man. Like we do. We know that we do. There is the feminist movement and all that stuff, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like there are women who literally feel like DNA. Yeah, it is in us. And if with the patriarchal thing, what's interesting is, and I don't know if this has happened to you. I think it's cultural too. Like when are you going to get married? You don't have a kid? How old are you? Like, oh, wow, you're getting old, right? And you don't have a kid. And people are like, I don't want a kid, like, or I don't want to get married. And that's kind of like, really?
That
foreign? That's
shit.
Cultural?
I think
that's age.
My experience, because my mom had me at a young age, her main thing was like, I don't want you to have a kid at a young age. So having a kid at a good time was never a conversation in that matter, right? Because she just wanted to make sure that I got out of high school and I had no kids and nothing like that. So that was instilled in me to make sure, like, my goal is I don't want to make the same mistakes family made, right? Mm-hmm. But once I did have a kid and I'm with this person, then, other family members who are so religious, they're like, okay, well, you guys have a kid. Are you guys going to get married? And it was like, no. Like, instantly, like, no, we're not going to get married. Oh, well, no. And that's it. Conversation over.
Yeah.
Stay in your lane. I'll stay in mine.
Are you familiar with like the science behind like behavior and things altering our DNA? Like trauma being passed down, right?
Oh, yes.
Right.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
That is very true.
Right. So so I do feel like a lot of your inclination and your desires are driven because of the centuries of
trauma,
but just that thought process, like, you need a man to take care of you. Like,
and cultural even adds a different piece, because from a Latin culture, right? Mm-hmm. The Latinos, you need a man. Number one, stay in your place, cook, serve him.
And you know what's weird?
Because that's the way I was raised.
I've seen that from other Latino families. Mine specifically wasn't like that, just because, my mom raised me a lot of times when I had my dad, he raised me, not biologically, but he accepted me and raised me. So I did have a mom and dad. But overall, when they split up, I've always seen my mom as a single, independent, single mom. So in my head, it's not, I need somebody. But my grandma would be like, did you find a nice guy? Make sure. So that you're
that was
good.
The generation.
Because that's how she sees it. But she never pressured me to do it. She would just be like, I want to help you more because you're by yourself.
Yeah.
So if I can help you, I will. But once you're with someone who's nice and he takes care of you, then you're good.
I mean, till this day, my uncles and my male cousins, they sit down at the table first. They get fed first. They're served, and then we sit down, and after, I mean, they get, and like literally, you have to let them serve for themselves first. You just sit there. And when my uncle picks up the rice and he serves, then we can.
Yes,
and it's just something you don't question. Don't you dare question it. Don't you dare.
I get it. I get it.
You don't. This is just culturally, this is the way my family, and you were raised that.
And see, me being me, I'd be like, you can't get your plate yourself, because my grandma would serve everybody. To this day, she will serve everybody. Now, I do see where, like, my stepdad, he'll come over and visit, and she serves him first. He'll even like ask me, hey, can you grab me a Corona? And every so often I'll get it for him. But at the other times I'm like, you can walk and get it yourself too. And he's not gonna say nothing to me. It's a different. I'm a different generation, so it's different.
Yeah.
So like
my children might, but I don't.
No,
right. It's different, and so when your children do it, like, what is your thought process?
I mean, my kids, they won't even be. Can you please take this to the kitchen? My boys do, though. My boys are so sweet. But yeah, I mean,
when they question stuff, do you be like, "Oh Lord, please don't question nothing. Please don't ask random questions." Like, do you have one of those moments? And then you're just like, "Well, they my kids. It is what it is. They can question it."
Different generation. Yeah, but I don't. Yeah, but then at the same time, I serve my boys. I serve all my kids, and I put the food on the table and all that stuff. But I serve all my kids. So they also see that.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm teaching my boys to cook, and my daughter cooks. She actually cooks a little bit better than me. And my middle son actually seasons meat better than me. So, you know what I mean? So there's those things that I'm teaching, but at the same time,
There's a great book by Wednesday Martin called Untrue. Should check it out.
Okay.
About women and patriarchy and all that stuff. I recommend it.
I like that.
But, all right.
So another thing that I think sees us different is the oxytocin, right? The pleasure hormone.
The love hormone.
That hormone lasts in your body 2 to 3 days after a sexual encounter, and it lasts in our bodies 2 to 3 weeks.
So don't put it down, fellas.
Which is often why we don't need it as often, right? Because it stays in our body. We have that reserve, but why they need it often, but it's also why they lose it and they don't get so attached, but we get so attached to them because it literally stays in our body for so long, the after effects of the hormone. And so if we have a sexual encounter with a man for 2 to 3 weeks, like I'm like totally over, like,
yeah.
And so then another, like, so then like the next week, so I'm consistently being stimulated. If we are sexually active every week, imagine my high, where my high is.
So then that explains why you're like, nah, I'm good. I don't need no. Well, they're just like,
and yeah,
I'm trying to get some right
and
now.
so that also kind of sees why we can get fatally attracted, right? That's why sometimes we don't handle breakups well, or friends with benefits well. Like I know for me, I can't. Like I know that I don't have the bandwidth to do that. And so because I know that, because fail, trial and error.
That's why we pay space in that shit.
Yeah. So
for real. Like, I want you to come over
once a month.
No.
Yeah, right.
But it's true. I mean, and that's total biology. And that's something that if we understood more, if we were more strategic about it, I wonder how that would change.
Oh, it would change everything. Because it's like, we fuck, all right, it's the 2nd, so I will see you on the 28th.
But then at the same time, that means that you'd have multiple partners just to keep your high up.
Not
because every, like,
Not
let's say
you specifically, though.
I mean, not you specifically, but as
Brandon will be good for 2 weeks, okay? Brandon is that one.
But I'm talking to you as a representative of the male
administration.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I have had friends with benefits where it's been frequent and we were able to keep it. I mean,
well, yeah, there are some women. There are some women who can do it.
Y'all gangsters too, gangsters.
Did you ever have a situation where you're like, damn, that was a little hurtful. All right.
Absolutely. She got
because we take it to because we have to take it that far or we'll lose our shit.
Yeah, she was done. Got up.
All right, bye.
Yeah, gotta.
But you know that she made herself that way.
Yes,
she's not innately. She's not that. We culture experiences, and sometimes I wonder what happened in her life that made her think that she needed to do that in order to get her needs satisfied. Like at that point, I'm digging a little bit deeper, right? Because that's not our natural way.
But I think so. In those certain situations, the women didn't know me. Like, you know what I mean? Like there wasn't a whole lot of them getting, like, we didn't get to know each other.
There was no friendship.
It was purely physical.
But we're talking about friends with benefits. So they were your friends?
Casual sexual, but I'm thinking about just a casual sexual experience. But that's not what she's talking about. She's talking about friends with benefits.
Yeah, not a booty call.
Yeah, no. Friends with benefits.
Or a dick appointment. No, I'm not talking about a dick appointment.
DA. But I mean, even still, in those situations, we were cool. When I say you're my friend, that's some deep shit. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of people will throw that word. We're friends. I'm like, no, the fuck we not. We're acquaintances. Like we know each other. We are good. We are on our way to friendship. But no. I have friends. We've been friends for 40 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it takes a lot for me to. But I'm talking about like, okay, we've been talking. We've been, we're cool and everything. But it's like if we stop talking tomorrow, no one would be hurt about it.
Yeah, see, I can't do that.
No.
I'd be butthurt. So how do you think, like from your experiences, how do you think we can get to the point where like we really would need to become in sync, right? We're gatherers, you guys are hunters. We are really get high off of this hormone. Like we really do. Mm-hmm. So
that makes sense.
How do we move through this new culture of surface relationship? People don't want commitment. People don't want connection. People want chemistry.
Yeah.
People want chemistry. They want that vibe.
Yeah.
But nobody wants everything else to go with it.
At least not in the moment. I don't think that people, I think what people are generally rejecting is the rush to get to that deep level.
That is true. And that's our fault. Because you put
so much pressure.
Because we don't date. We are already looking at, you know what I mean?
Right. I think that's like, that is something that can turn me off. Like, I could really like the shit out of you. But if you're talking that serious stuff too early, then it makes me concerned. And the reason why is because now I feel like you're not valuing me as Brandon, aka DJ Silk. You're valuing me as a plug to insert into your system, which the system is you want to get married, you want to have kids, you want to have da 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 da. And then once all of those things are satisfied, then you really start to get to know me, and you're like, oh, I really don't like you. Mm-hmm. And now you're unhappy. Does that make sense?
Well, yeah.
But is that because that's how guys are?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And we're not, because I think a part of us, like, we are attracted to someone, like, long term, to someone who can protect and provide. Like, we need that safety. You guys are attracted to someone who's appealing to your sexuality.
Yeah, when we're younger.
But that seems like that's for the moment. They're more for the moment, while we're like, okay, well, is this going to go anywhere?
Because we're more gatherers. People who gather are gathering for a purpose. There's a reason. If you're gathering in the field, right? It was to feed your family. Like, it's
but I feel like that gathering process blinds you for getting to know me as a person. So
I agree.
Right, because you're so busy worried
down.
you're so busy trying to be like, yo, is this the guy? Is this the dude? Is it going to work out? You're not really paying attention to me. And I've had that, I've dealt with someone for years and then realized like, oh, you don't really fucking know me. Because the whole time they were pushing to get to this next level and I was resisting. And then we had a moment where she kind of expressed like, well, I want to make these moves. And these moves were counter to everything about me. I'm like, if you knew me,
I wouldn't be down with that.
Right. Not even a little bit, And so then it's like, okay, so this whole time you've been evaluating me as literally a plug. Like, I'm good enough for the things that you want. But I know damn well once you get what you want, you're not going to be happy with me because you don't know me.
So would you have liked, let's say, for instance, would you have liked her to kind of say, hey, Brandon, the purpose that I want to date for is because I want to be married in the next 2 years. If she would have said that from the door,
that would have been a turn off for him.
But that would have been better for you versus waiting 6 months or 9 months and then you thinking like,
well, if she had said it, no, if I was thinking, because I had a lot going on in life, so I wasn't really paying attention. Now I'm aware. So if you were to say that to me, like, this is your intention, and I was seriously interested in you, then I would slow you down and be like, no, bitch, you don't get to know me. I just say bitch because it makes her laugh. It's just, I don't really call women bitches. Please, I don't do it. Jazz, I don't do that, right?
No, he does not.
Don't do that. That's not how I
don't piss him off, though. Don't piss him off, though. Because then he on another one after that.
Right. But no, I would slow this situation down and really be intentional about doing things so we could get to know each other on a deeper level.
And build to that?
Okay. Because again, my fear is always, we talked about it a couple episodes ago. When you if you make marriage the goal, then it's a competition. It's not, you're not.
What do you mean?
It means, so now if you're like, my life goal is to get married. Now you're dating to get married. You're not dating to get to know people.
But you still are getting to know people.
But only in the terms of how will this work in my marriage fantasy?
But it's not a fantasy. If that's their goal at the end of the day.
Maybe fantasy is the wrong word, but my marriage, this is how I want my marriage to be. Like,
well, no, you can't go off of this is how my marriage would be, though. And the only reason I go back and forth with you about it is because I'm a type of person where eventually, my goal, I want to be married, right? So if I meet somebody and we have these types of conversations and our end goal is to do that, then we build to that. Because I don't want to deal with someone where and they're just like, oh, I'm not trying to marry, I'm just trying to date. Okay, well, we're on two different lanes. In my opinion, that doesn't work for me.
Yeah, but if you are really vibing, then the relationship will get to that point. Because guys, we will do that. We'll be like, I was just trying to date, and goddamn, I don't know how I ended up getting married. Like, we fall in love, we get caught up eventually. But it has to flow. It has to kind of progress. If you come to me and you're saying, look, man, I'm trying to get married. You're not trying to get married, so I'm dismissing you. Like, you've thrown away a lot of potential because maybe, like, in this moment, I'm not looking at you as marriage material, but 6 months down the line, I'm like, yo, we really vibe.
But that's
really get
something
along.
that I'm very clear on. That's something that a lot of women are clear on. They know that they want to do that eventually, that whatever situation they get into, that's the end goal. So if that person, the man, is like, yo, I'm just dating just to date. I'm trying to see what I like, what I don't like.
Let's see how it goes.
Let's see how it goes. It's like, I don't want to see where it goes.
But that's a fundamental. She broke it down in the very beginning. We're present. We are in the moment. You're in the future. So to me, if you're in the future, you're not present. And if you're not present, then you're not paying attention to who I am.
See, I disagree because people could still be present in the moment because that's where you're getting to know each other. Like, do I like this person? Oh, we vibe this way. Oh, we like this together. Oh, he's into this, I'm into this. Like, that's where you're still getting to know the person. Not saying that you have to be to the point where you're at getting married, but like if y'all building to that, at least y'all know y'all goal is to build to that. Whether it takes a year, 2 years, 3 years, at least y'all know that's the goal.
But if you set that as a goal, then a lot of times you will go down in a sinking ship because you made this goal like, oh, we both said we wanted to get married, so we're going to make this work because we're both trying to get married. And you might be in a relationship that just isn't healthy because you set that.
I can see that. I can see that. Saying. But I think what's important is that's where your strength comes in and you help us to slow down. But at the same time, we need clarity, right? Because it's just something that we need. It is hard to get into a ship that doesn't know where it's going either. Like none of us will get into a vehicle if we don't know where it's going. So you can say, I'm open to marriage. I just don't know when.
And that's what I say.
I just don't know when I want to be married.
And that's what frustrates me about our society and even this marriage thing, because it has everybody trying to go in this direction. Like, it's almost like you're forcing shit. Like, and I use this example all the time. You don't meet a person and be like, we're going to be best friends forever.
No.
Right? You meet people and maybe you end up becoming the best friends forever. You might be just acquaintances. You might be just somebody that, like, we go to the club, we hang out from time to time or whatever. But the relationship works because you know there's no pressure put in it. You're not trying to put it in this peg or that peg or the other. You were just going with the flow and it works out. Mm-hmm. But we don't do that when it comes to relationships. And that's why so many relationships don't work, because you have people trying to force shit that doesn't need to be forced. So you tell me I meet you and you're like, yo, B, I definitely want to get married. You might be the woman for me, but now you done scared the shit out of me because I'm like, God damn, can we have a couple of days? Can we have a couple of months? Can we? Well,
you don't want to put that all right on the first day. You're not gonna say that in the first day, but like I would say within 3 months, y'all have those conversations.
I think 3 to 6 months, you should at least be kind of saying, or there has to be clarity. There has to be, because it's kind of like in the 3 to 6 month mark. If I'm confused about where we're going, if all we're doing is hanging out, then let me know that this is just a hangout thing and that you don't see. By 3 to 6 months, But
3 to 6 months, you're still dealing with the representative. You're each in your representative state. You don't actually begin being comfortable enough to be your true self until between 9 and 12 months.
I disagree. I disagree.
That's man.
I understand of the representative, but if you guys have a good communication thing,
but I understand all that, but still in all, right? I can have every intention being like, Elsa, it's you and me. We're going to get married, right? It's 3 to 6 months. We had that conversation. We're on this path.
No, not we're going to get married. No, you can say, I'm in this game because I want marriage. I don't know if it's you. Well, wait, this is just me talking. But I don't know if it's going to be you, but I'm letting you know my ultimate goal is that I see myself being married. It's like when you say, so what's your goal in the next 5 years? Well, I want to have another office. I want to be practicing here. I want to be like, I've thought about this, right? Do I know what's going to happen? But I know I want another office. So I'm working towards that.
You know what? See, I think that's where I get a little lost. I get a little confused because I feel like everybody's goal ultimately is to find their person and be with that person. Like, ultimately, that's what we're all doing. Like, if a dude is dating all over the place and stuff like that,
he's trying to find his partner.
He might not be aware of it, but when he finds that right person, he's going to stop.
And he's having sex with 5 or 6 people at the same time, and that's his purpose.
No,
these are like fuck boys out here.
No, but fuck boys are just boys that haven't found the woman for them. Everybody gets to a point where you're just like, oh man, I really dig you. Because yes, you can go out and you can fuck this girl, that girl, and that. But what you quickly figure out is like it's empty and it lacks intimacy. And ultimately, what you want, you start for intimacy and just closeness and predictability and comfortability. Like that's what we're all striving for. People who serial date like that, their problem is that they just don't know who they are yet. And once they figure out who they are, then it's easy for them to figure out who's going to be the yin to their yang. That's where we're at. But like, again, I'm confused because a woman is like, I want to get married. Like, to me, that rings so fucking
But it doesn't
desperate.
mean it's with you.
I know, but even just that statement, I want to get married. Like, it's like, yeah, duh. Of course you want to get married. I think
There's some women who don't. Some women can cohabitate.
Mm-hmm.
Some women are okay
marriage,
with a committed relationship and not cohabitating.
Okay. Let me take marriage. Let me replace that. Finding their yang. Okay. Whether it's marriage, whatever, everybody ultimately wants to find that person.
I agree. Mm-hmm.
And that's when you're just like, I'm trying to get, calm your ass down. Can we have dinner? Can we, that's all I'm saying. Like that.
Just don't be surprised if you're going on dates with somebody multiple times and they mention it, because it's in us to have that clarity to know where this could possibly go.
We need clarity.
Yeah.
We strive, like we thrive in clarity.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you do. And then you can change the shit
It's
up.
just the way we were made. Like you really can't even blame us. Like it's
I'm going
just
to blame you. Fuck it.
And we have to, and I believe more women should be authentic and.
It's okay.
Battery
went out. It's okay. We got enough light. I got enough light.
I think we should be able to kind of say, this is what I need. You know, this is what makes me happy. This is like, we need to have more of those discussions. I think the biggest thing we need to also do as women is I can tell you what I need.
Right.
Like I need communication. I need this. I just can't tell you how to give it to me. But I can tell you, you know, like we need to stop telling these guys how to do it, because that's another mistake that we do. And that's not fair. That's not fair at all. Like, how are they going to produce it? How are they going to, no.
So you're saying
communicate your need.
Yeah.
But then we have to give them the space to do it. Not,
I need you to do it this way.
yes, which is, we can be a little bit bossy
little controlling.
sometimes. We can definitely look
all
at
the
Brandon's face.
time. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, what you said reminded me of something when you said something early. Brandon, when you said something about where you are in the state in your stage. So I was listening to someone speak about the stages of a man's development. And I want to do a little bit more research about it. They were talking about how starting from a young, and I have boys too, starting from a young thing, they go from a page to a knight to a prince. And in the prince stage, they have an early prince, mid prince, and late prince. Then they go through a transition, like a tunnel phase where they get into the tunnel. Then they become a king.
Oh, geez.
The night, I know, the night goes anywhere from pre-puberty, so like the tween, to like early 20s.
Okay.
It could go longer. Sometimes even in their 20s. Those are the young guys who want to have fun. Mm-hmm. They're all into like, I want to have fun. That's the night. The night wants to have fun. Everything's about an adventure. You're so much fun. I love hanging out with you. Those are the young guys, right? Mm-hmm. In your 30s, 30 to like mid 40s, it's like the prince stage where they start kind of like, I gotta professionally, financially, they're into the produce. A lot of people start businesses around that thing. A lot of professionals start hunkering down around that stage. Like, okay, I really want to be this. Oh, I want to grow my job. I want to be better, successful. I want to buy a house.
Have a better understanding of what you want to do.
And if you see men in their 30s to early 40s, they're into that producing, establishing, grounding, and all that stuff stage. Then around like, and this is all, not every man, but then after that, they go into like this, like, what we call midlife crisis, because that's how culture has designated it. Mm-hmm. They go into this transition period, like mortality starts getting more thing, like, oh my goodness, I'm getting old. What's about retirement? People start talking about, what are you going to do? You know, you're getting older, AARP, like all these, like Medicare, like all this stuff comes, and you're just like, oh shoot, they go into this tunnel. Sometimes they don't, sometimes you have a hard time with it, into that space. And once they emerge from that, and they're like, okay, that's where they settle into their king kind of thing, where now they're like a little bit more settled. They know exactly what they want. They're looking for differently. They're not looking for usually friends with benefits at that time. They're not, because now they're they're in a different mindset.
They're looking for somebody to wipe their ass because they're getting old.
They're getting old. And so it's like late 40s to early 60s. Like this is where they start becoming a king.
Prove my point.
Right?
Yeah.
No. Because they start seeing that wow,
Yeah.
I don't want to be alone for the rest of my life. They're not having, like, yes, they're going to have fun, but they're not having fun like they were in their 20s.
Oh, of
they're
course.
not building the way in their 30s, because a lot of men in their 50s, their businesses, they're successful. They may have had 3 or 4 careers by that time. They are good. Their credit is good. And they're like, my retirement account is good. I just need somebody to be able to travel with and just chill with. And so I think if we also understood that, and we have our own development too, that's why timing is so important. Imagine if a king, right? If like someone in their 30s, a woman in their 30s met a man in their 40s, right? There's going to be some type of, we're not going to coincide too, but a lot of men who go through their midlife crisis go younger because they are struggling.
Well, so I feel like, in just my personal experience with midlife crisis, not me, I'll probably have mine when I'm in my 60s, right? I feel like
really in your 60s?
In my 60s, the early 70s, right? But
you'd like, be already on Medicare.
No, right?
Shit, pop. But I feel like so what I saw with like my dad and people my parents' age, their midlife crisis fell in line with what they didn't do in their early 20s and 30s, right? So the ones that got married early, whatnot, they wanted to run the streets. They wanted to be women. They wanted to have these sexual experiences and whatnot, right?
Like their second adolescence, what people call it?
Something like that, right? Like all the things they didn't do, right? Then the ones who probably waited a little while before they got married and they had their time to whore and whatnot, whatever they did, those are the ones who like, I'm gonna get a motorcycle. I'm gonna get a sports car. I'm going to do this thing. It has nothing to do with sex, other women. Their marriages remained intact because for them, their midlife crisis was literally like, well, I always wanted a convertible. I always wanted this thing and I never had. I'm getting older.
That makes sense.
Right. So yeah, so the crisis really does have to do with how do you live your life up until that. What haven't you done? And then that crisis window is like, oh, the clock is ticking. Let me go ahead and take care of it. Make sense?
And I believe that marriages last or relationships last once we understand those stages and be able to adjust to those stages and be able to understand and to be able to support and to be able to encourage in those stages. Not kind of like, you just bought a convertible. How and the kid has to be in college or this, or the kid, the kids want to buy a house.
Kid.
For real.
You know what I mean? And so,
fuck that kid.
But we don't understand that. Right. But I do believe that as, when you hear about these marriages that have lasted for so long, it's because we were able to adapt to the seasons. Like you remember you mentioned that relationship cycle or whatever. We were able to adapt to that. But if we studied more in terms of those stages, we have our own stages. We also have instincts that we really can't control, unfortunately.
Don't apologize for your retarded instincts.
It is not retarded, okay? We don't say that.
You have instincts too and if we understood some of this, I wonder if it would just change the game a little bit.
So I think what would make it easier just conceptually is if we just respected each other's individuality. Instead of what do we normally do when we get in a relationship? We surrender so much of our individuality. I becomes we and us, right? And so we look for everything that we do is in the space and mindset of we, us, we. And each individual I gets tossed to the side. So then when we go through these changes and these stages, I needs to come out. It needs to be expressed.
And it's like, how dare you? What do you mean just you? You don't want to include me anymore? And it gets...
And here we are, the gatherer.
Yeah.
Like,
what do you mean?
Feeling
butthurt.
Right.
If anything, I've learned, do your thing because you need to go out, do your thing with your friends, whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
I do my thing and then we come back as equal.
But that's maturity teaches us that. But that's not innate for us.
Oh no, I know. That's what I said. Like
experience,
you learn,
failure,
right?
You learn.
And especially being like me personally, being single for a while, you learn that you love your space and you love to be by yourself. So if you communicate that to whoever you end up being with, you want to make that clear. Like, listen, I'll see you here and there, but there are going to be times where I'm like, no, I don't have to see you today. It's fine. I don't have to see you this weekend. It's okay. and don't take it personal.
Yes.
It's just,
and that's the biggest thing because we take things personal.
Well, I think it's not about being, in my opinion, it's not about that you take it personally for any other reason that I think a lot of us have insecurities within our relationship. So like the moment that you're like, your partner decides that they want to do something without you, it's like, it feels like rejection. Like, what's wrong with me that you don't want to do this with me? Like, why aren't you ussing it up? Why isn't it we? Why isn't it? And again, we have to stop looking at our relationships as being codependent. Like I don't want you by my side because I need for you to as a survival tool. Like I want you by my side because I genuinely want you. I like you. I like your energy and whatnot.
But then how do we then mitigate or help? Because we are looking, we look for protector and provider, right?
Facts.
Maybe not the way back in the day they looked for a provider because we make our own money, but we still need some type of provision, whether it's emotional support and all that stuff. So there could be like, there is a sense of dependency that we depend on you for certain things, not codependency, not unhealthy.
I understand that.
And I think sometimes we may go a little bit overboard if we don't know ourselves too much.
Vice versa, because y'all be doing the same shit.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it's both ways.
It definitely goes both ways. But
it's both ways up in there.
I think to answer your question, that's on for you to figure that shit out. Like, there's nothing that I can do to make you feel more like when somebody's insecure about something, it's on them, right? It's how they're seeing the world. It's how they're processing it. So it is up to you to change the way you think, the way you see things. Because in my personal experience, whenever I had a crazy insecure girlfriend, and the shit was a nightmare because the more I did that I thought was to make her feel secure and safe, only made her feel more insecure. And it's like, yo, you have to be secure. You have to understand that you're the shit and that you're enough.
You have to have some confidence. Yeah.
Right. So I think it works the same way with just the need. Like you could, you hunter, provider, protector, and whatnot. You have to look at what he does and identify those things that he does that makes you feel safe and secure and whatnot. I can't come to you and be like, well, I lock the door every night to make you feel good, bitch, you know. I do A, B, C, and D, because if you're not identifying that on your own as things that he does to defend, to protect you and provide for you, then if I point it to you, it's not going to ring true to you. It's not enough so you have to learn how to look at the relationship and figure those things out. And now if you can't figure it out, then that's a conversation and you got to work it out together.
True. Communication. We go back to communication. Now, two things I've noticed a lot when it comes to couples that I counsel, that I feel like I wish I can like put this out there in the airwaves and kind of just like have a big platform. For the man, you should make sure that woman is totally okay and impressed by who you are. Like if I'm not too keen the fact that you're a DJ, then I'm not a viable option for you. Why? Because I'm not impressed by who you are and what you do. You know, I may, if I may say, oh, a DJ? Like, really? That's what you do?
Cancel, bitch. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I've had that.
Yeah,
happen,
because we if I'm looking for a corporate or a lawyer or something like that, then I need to go with who I'm going to be impressed with their life. Because if I have issues with what you do and who you are today, I'm going to have issues with who you are and what you do in 10 years.
It gets worse.
Yes, it does.
Gets worse. And I think for us women, we have to choose men who are okay and love our bodies the way they are, when they meet us.
No BBLs.
You know what I mean? So if he needs a big butt and he's like, your ass is, kind of small there, or you gotta have a flat ass, and he doesn't like the way my body is when he meets me. Yeah, no, because I'm not gonna kill myself to try to look a certain way. And there's a lot of men, who. Like I hear this on podcasts and on social media about the bodies and the women and don't let yourself go and this and this and this.
That's the shit they say.
I understand, but it doesn't make women feel good. You know what I mean? At the same time, like when you meet me, if I'm like this, I'm pretty much going to stay like this. If I have a baby, don't you think that my body's going to stay like this. I will try to lose weight, but I don't know if my body's going to go back to that because biologically, you've never had a baby. You don't know what it feels like, and you don't know what it does that to your biology.
I understand that. I understand that. But I also think that, like, yes, we are visual creatures, men. Right?
Yes,
we are into Like we are the thotty thoughts, the build of body bitches. We will fantasize about that. But if you look at the number of women out there that actually look like that versus the other one, what is it, like 1%?
I don't know. They're all over IG.
Filters. But there's 8 billion people on this planet. When you walk around,
I just need one. Lord.
If you walk around, when you go to the mall, you go to the beaches, you go elsewhere, how many women do you actually see have those bodies?
I don't know. In Florida, when I went to Miami,
well, I mean, about to see a lot of them now.
Yeah. I mean, you see a lot of them, but even still, I see a lot of people coupled up, and the women aren't built like that, right? So yes, we will fantasize, we will masturbate, we will watch Pornhub, we will, be on it. But when it's all said and done, we're with a normal. You know what I'm saying?
And that's probably because the woman who has a BBL won't give you no time.
No, because she's trash anyway. She's trash. Most
so
of them are trash.
Why fantasize about that?
But don't worry about.
Like, why does that do it that way? Because most of them
don't know. They don't know, and you have the experience with them. You're like, oh man, you ain't shit. They don't fuck good. They're not. They don't. They're usually vapid. They don't have great conversations, but it's our fantasy, and I think that's what you guys have to learn to give. Stop trying to control. And Matt, you want us to fantasize about you, and I understand it. Yes, I want you to fantasize about me too. But when it's all said and done, guess what? I'm with you. I'm in the bed with you. I'm building a life with you. We're having good times together. Like that outweighs the being on Instagram and hitting the like button on things.
Definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
But you also have to remember that's only going to work with someone who's secure. Because if a woman is not secure and you're not thinking about her or viewing her in that way, she'll be like, well, why are you thinking about them and not me? Why are you liking their photos and not mine? Or whatever the case is. Like women, our minds will go all left.
I know, but I can't. But I've given up. I've gotten out of that business. If you want to be insecure, then you're going to be insecure. If my presence is not good enough, if the fact that I'm reaching out to you and I'm trying to be with you, if that's not good, if you're worried about all the stuff that you worried because I hit the like button because this bitch in California, like, you know what I mean?
I hear you.
You know what I mean? Like that's kind of silly. Like if your girlfriend came to you and said, "Oh, my man, like this person who lives in Brazil."
Like, okay, so what?
Right.
I know. Like,
bitch, he's in Brazil. Who cares?
Right. Now, if he gets some passport and some tickets to Brazil, be concerned.
Where are you going?
Right. But no, we can't. Like, you have to allow people to have their fantasies. And that's one of the things that I really dig about, like, the lifestyle and people who are in that situation. Like, when you see a couple and they're like, oh, you like that, honey? You want me to line that up for you? And they try to line up some shit or vice versa. That compersion, the, being turned on by seeing your partner being happy. That's where we need to be. Not saying that we have to be in the lifestyle, Jazz, but I'm just saying that being comfortable enough to be able to say you have a hall pass if Rihanna ever hits on you.
I'll be saying that all the time. I'll be like, listen, if you get that opportunity, you better go all out, bro.
Go and send me pictures.
That. Right. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Okay? Have fun.
And I think it all comes back to, again, respecting our individuality and stop acting like just because we get in a relationship that goes away. Yeah. You have to give room for that. I want you, the things that turned me on about you or got my attention was you as an individual, not you in a relationship. And I don't want that to go away. I want to enjoy as much of that as possible. And it should be the same for you with me.
Yeah, I agree. So for you, are deal breakers very important to communicate in a relationship?
Rephrase the question, please.
Deal breakers. Are they important for you to communicate in a relationship? Like for you? And if so, what are some of your deal breakers?
Are they like physical deal breakers? I feel like that's what
physical. There are physical deal breakers. Badass kids are a deal breaker.
Okay, good.
Right? If you are shitty with managing your household in terms of the kids, I can't be involved because you're not going to have your kids hating me because I have to be the disciplinarian because you can't do it. You know what I mean?
Good one.
Fucked up friends. If I'm looking at your social circle and I'm seeing your friends and they're all people I'm not feeling like for legitimate reasons, like they're just trifling or I feel like they're trouble. They'll call because you're not wearing your wedding ring and point that out to me.
Good point.
Oh, but if I see your girl somewhere with another dude, please know I him FaceTiming you and be like, your girl here. That's all I'm saying.
I don't
do as
know.
you please.
I don't want to
Guys never want to know. We want to know. Fuck that.
No, I don't want to know. Just clean yourself up before you get home.
Wow. You would rather just...
I don't want to know. What? I don't want to know.
That's wild.
Be careful, because I just did a counseling session this week with this girl who that happened to, and she got herpes and didn't tell her partner, and now they both have herpes. And she said, whatever I do is my business, and it's nobody's business.
Because you don't want to know.
And now they both have herpes.
But I'm thinking, so if I'm in that situation, if I'm in a relationship, I love the did you.
I love the did you.
I love the did you.
And so I'm probably not going to roll. Like, so you're going to tell me.
I'm going to tell you do whatever you want with that information.
But now I'm all fucked up in the game, but I'm not going anywhere.
Go to therapy.
Right.
You got a friend. You're good.
Right. So I'm going to get the herpes anyway, because.
Are you kidding me?
No, because let's say. So
you wouldn't
tell
leave?
me. No, I'm not.
That's terrible.
No, it's
toxic.
No, it's not toxic, because if you have a relationship with somebody, you got to try to get through it. Like, I'm not going to be like, all right, you cheated. It's just done. Now, I mean, if it's a really shitty relationship and that's the last straw, that's something different. But let's say I think everything is good, and it just turns out that she stepped out. Like, I don't think I'm gonna walk away. Like, I think I'm gonna try to get the relationship right, right? Because it's a committed relationship. It's commitment, right?
Yeah, just come to therapy.
Right.
I have plenty of those.
Right. So I might get the herpes anyway. Like, I think.
Yeah, he has the herpes.
Right.
And he has to do his flare-ups.
This is wild. Oh my God.
And she doesn't take the medicine because she says she doesn't want to.
Oh, she's a little bitch. That's horrible. I'm pretty sure I wouldn't pick somebody to like that. But like I said, I don't want to know. I don't want to know unless you feel like I'm getting ready to leave. If I'm talking like, man, I'm tired of this bitch, blah, blah, blah.
You just need your out.
I need the out. But if I'm happy and I'm just, because I'm oblivious as fuck.
The more the reason why we need to tell you.
See, that's why I'm single. I don't have these problems. I ain't got to worry about these things.
Oh my God.
Do you have any deal breakers?
Damn, off the top of my head. I hate these questions. I feel like I need to think about these.
Mm-hmm.
I guess, damn. Can't think of any decent deal breakers at the moment.
There's people you met in the past that had things about that you didn't like, that you were like, nah, they ain't gonna work, son.
Those who don't communicate and they like, if you don't know how to communicate, number one. Number two, if you're not emotionally intelligent, that's another deal breaker for me. Number three, when they say they're gonna do something, don't do it. Oh, it irritates my soul. I can't stand that.
Yeah.
Oh, and then if you lie about something stupid, you're done. Because if you lying to me about something stupid and we started talking, nah, you out, bro.
You're gonna lie about something deep. Mm-hmm.
There we go. Damn, that was 3 out of.
I know.
Out of nowhere.
Definitely communication. I would say baby mama drama. Like, I can't. Like, if you can't, be
manage
able to,
that relationship,
and to get along and all that stuff, then
that co-parenting situation ain't in check. Nah, bro.
We can't do that. Communication is huge because I live off of communication. Like, I make money out of communication. So if we can't communicate and I'm over here seeing 10 people a day and I can communicate with them and all that stuff, then.
Did you ever date somebody and they were like, well, you're not communicating? I'm like, the fuck you mean?
Or people who say, I'm a good communicator and they don't. Like, you know what? I'm just going to leave that. Because you think you're a good communicator, you really have to kind of see, what do you mean and what level is your communication at? Because you're really not a good communicator. Putting some words in a text or on a phone, that's not communication. And in this society, people think they're communicating because good morning, that's not communication. That's a salutation.
Oh,
okay,
Lord,
good night. You know what I mean? Like,
salutation.
No, that's not communication. Money management, the way you manage your money, like I'll see that because, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that I'm going to get married and all that stuff, but it's important. It's important to be able to manage money. And
but what if that person is willing to have you manage their money? Like, they know they're like, look, I ain't shit at that.
No, you got to be able to pay your bills before I came into the picture. If you're not paying your bills and if you're not on time with your stuff, because I'm nobody's mama.
Right. But I'm just saying, they're like, look, that's because it's a division of labor, right? In the household. You should.
At that point, we're probably cohabitating. Is that what you're talking about? We're cohabitating and not dating? Because I'm just talking about dating.
Okay. Yeah.
You need to be able to pay your light bill.
Oh, well, yeah,
On
that
time.
part. That
Yeah,
part.
but let's say
Managing
they
your
would-
money instead of going out with the boys, like you, I went on a trip. I don't have money to pay my bills this month. Well, what you gonna do about it? You're gonna go make a
that part.
DoorDash
That
run?
part.
Yeah, go make a
different.
DoorDash run.
I'm
'cause-
assuming like relationship,
No,
like
no,
they're
no,
better.
no.
You're better with the finances.
Yeah, no,
they're
no,
better
no, no,
again.
no. This is managing money.
Yeah,
Because if
got
you
it.
don't manage your money, then I won't be able to manage the finances when we are cohabitating, right? Because you're over here misspending or doing this, or that's important.
Yeah.
That's
Gotcha.
huge.
Okay.
That's huge.
What
I
about
mean-
physical? I'm curious to know what your physical. What's that?
You know what? I have a very diverse taste, you know, in terms of like when you're talking about the shell,
Yeah, the shell.
but I do know that I look for someone that's strong. Like,
Muscle, the athletic
yeah,
type
like
of,
the athletic
Muscly.
type.
Muscle.
Like I like people with some weight on them and with
Some girth.
yeah, like they need to. So, I remember that conversation.
Deeper, yeah.
That took me back.
Yeah.
But I really, you know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what it is, but that there's a man that when they have presence and they have, you know,
Girth. Same word.
it's important.
their arms are not, or like if they just got done a workout and it's like sweaty
Yeah,
arms,
it's
it's like,
important.
ooh, that's nice.
Okay.
So I
but
like them
listen-
thick.
Okay, but what don't you like? I'm
Yeah, what
asking
don't you like?
I'm
Deal
the
breaker.
Deal breaker. You talking about what?
Oh,
what's
like
gonna get you
body-wise?
broken? Physically.
Physically.
Like, what, they got ugly feet.
Oh,
got bad
hygiene is
hands,
important.
knees,
So
yeah,
if they're like
Oh,
nails
yeah,
are dirty,
hygiene.
Yeah.
if you don't have nice teeth, like
Yeah.
Yeah,
Physical.
What's a physical thing? What's going on? You know.
I would say teeth and a smile.
so they have the nice teeth.
So if they
Yeah.
have summer teeth. You know what summer teeth are, right?
no,
Some are here, some are there.
no. Yeah, no.
That ain't gonna work for you.
No.
No.
Okay. All right. What about you, Jay?
Yeah, need teeth, hygiene, like their nails. What else? I'm not really into like long ass beards. I'm not into it. You can have a beard, but like some of them
Oh,
like
that
to
one,
grow
yeah.
them out. I'm not into that.
Don't come with me long hair either.
Yeah, no, not into the
Mm-mm.
guy. No.
Damn. Okay. That's interesting. So we just all out of sync. I feel like this conversation just made me feel very hopeless when it comes to. I'm not gonna lie.
So
Sounds like you need a session.
why?
No. I'm
We are
joking.
very different.
Yeah, we are. We are very, and as we should be, because it would be boring if we were the same. That'd be boring as hell, right?
Yeah.
We just have to be, it just sounds like we have to be more aware of how we are. Like I have, you know, like women have to be more aware of how men are, and men have to be more aware of how we are and how we
are
work.
aware. Trust me.
Yeah, they're
We
more
are
aware
very
than we are.
aware. We are very
We're
aware.
we're
Jazzy.
too much in the future. They're like here.
That's why we stress the fuck out doing what we do. That's exactly why.
Is that what you're gonna title this podcast? I'm stressed the fuck out.
Yeah. Yes, the title. No, we are very Jazz. We are very aware. We have to be aware to be able to deal with you, navigate these waters with you.
So I wrote down successful dating tips.
Okay,
All right.
please make us successful.
All right. For women, practice dating. Watch the expectations that you weave between the dates, right? So let's say we go on a date.
Okay.
In between dates, I'm gonna have like expectations. Oh my God, I really like him. He's so nice. And this and this. Like we need to chill out on that. Like
Calm
just-
your ass down.
yes, take it
Mhm.
one date at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, be responsible for our bonding hormone. So if I know that I get too attached, right?
Chill the
then
fuck out.
let me not have sex really soon. And I have to be able to communicate with that and say, you know what, Brandon, I know you want to be intimate, but let me tell you this. And you have to be like, you know what? Number one, she's self-aware. That's good.
Mm-hmm.
Because if not, she's going to get crazy. Because I'm telling you, I have the propensity to do that.
Gotcha.
So we also have to be, we have to have, be self-aware. Also, don't drown you in information. We have to not drown men in information because we are gatherers. So we're gathering stuff about the future and all this stuff. So we got to just, like you said, we have to chill. We have
Just
to
be
slow down.
present. Just be
We have
present.
to be present, but we have a hard time. We really do.
One question at a time and chew on that shit.
But we're not patient.
Clearly, I know. I know it's all these things. And the audience out there is like, we fucking know. We fucking know.
And then if y'all know, then why y'all getting in your bag?
We got no choice. Y'all be pulling us in the bag.
No, we don't. We just be on it.
You just be in the shits. In the shits. With the shits about the shits. No.
So that's for the women. For the man, I wrote, be aware of our unconscious timeline.
We are.
Because we do have a timeline.
Yeah.
We know.
We really
He's claiming they know all this already.
I hope so.
But yet he's still single, so I don't understand.
Men accommodate for more communication. We need communication.
Agreed.
And sometimes you don't, like, if we go on a date, text and say, hey, you know what? I really had a good time. I can't wait to see you again soon. Period. And now we have to now chill.
Now the crazy come.
You know what I mean? Like soon. Like, and we can't say, so when is that? All right, chill out.
Chill
Like,
out.
he
Yeah,
said
don't say
soon.
that.
Chill out. It will come. He's a planner. He's already a hunter. Let him be in your, we have a hard time with that because now it's like, do I leave next Saturday open? But that's
bitch.
I love when you say that.
No. Go. What else? What else are we supposed to be doing dealing with y'all crazy asses?
You have to be responsible for our bonding hormone because you also are the sexual one, right? So we have to be self-aware, but you have to be self-aware about ours because if I get too attached after we have sex and I start acting a little bit crazy and start loving you,
don't fuck me 3 days later.
B game.
Don't do it.
Not
Don't
your
fuck
A
them.
game. B game. Maybe C plus. C plus.
And I think the biggest thing is just stay in touch. Stay in touch with her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, stay in touch. Don't, like, a lot of you guys, you go out with someone and then you disappear. And then a week later you're texting, like, stay in touch. I mean, that's important.
Do you know why we do that?
No, but please tell the audience because we all want to know.
Because oftentimes when we do express that we are into you, it scares the women that we like away.
That's weird to me.
And it's happened a lot. It's happened to me a lot where it's like, you know, I'm trying to communicate and express that. Oh, so fast. Oh. It's like, whoa, you're the penis owner now? Is that what's going on here? What? I'm trying to gather and you're running? Yeah.
Do you normally choose women who you are super sexually attracted to?
Of course.
Then that's why you fail.
I know. That's why, you know.
Because you don't choose the one that you're super sexually attracted to.
I'm not supposed to choose that one.
You've been doing it wrong, bro.
Yeah, because then it's a sexual attraction. It's not about the human spirit.
Well, no, it isn't. I mean, but it's super sexual, and it's more. It's not just that. But what I'm saying is, and I'm sure you've done it. Like the guy that you go out with, and then he's like, "Really had a special time," and you're like, "God damn, this motherfucker! Like it's only been 6 hours. He's texting me. He's lame." Oh my God.
I'm
No,
mad.
yeah,
You never done that?
No.
Oh, he lies.
No.
I'm sure you think back in your thing.
Though once we go out on a date, I do know if I want to see you again.
Yeah.
So if you do text me 6 hours later, it's because you're not the one.
Huh? No,
Like,
that confused me.
You're not the one that I want to see you again. Like you didn't either satisfy me in some way. Like what I saw from you on that date didn't give me the desire to see you again. If it's our first date though.
So so are you saying that the woman would communicate?
No, we wouldn't. We would just let it go.
If they're confusing
like
me.
Hold on.
Let's go back.
We
go on a date.
The first date.
We go on a date.
And I'm not feeling it.
And then after the date, I'm like, I had a really lovely time. And you're like, I'm just not going to respond because I'm not interested.
Yeah, if I'm not feeling you, I won't respond. That's the
rude.
whole thing about being friend zoned. But we already, we know who we want. Like, remember, we are gatherers.
Yeah, so let me put something out there for you to consider. You could still respond to that text and acknowledge it one way or the other. You don't have to be like, oh, I had a great time. Or whatever. Like, oh, I'm glad you had a nice time. Just something because it makes us, now you done fucked us up for the next woman because we've been taught now, like, well, then when I actually am honest with my feelings and open and eager, I got shut down, like in the worst way.
How many men do you know is open with his feelings?
Not many, because we go through these things. Because you guys, like, you know, it's like, all right, be open and communicate and this, that, and the other, but you have to do it with the right woman. And I get that. Everything has to be with the right person. But I think there are standards that we should all adhere to. If somebody sends you a message or extends a line of communication to you, you should always respond. As long as they're not being crazy or it's like a crazy situation. But if you're not interested, you can at least acknowledge that they communicated, like, you know, in a very whatever way. And if you have to be like, hey, I don't see anything going forward, then that's fine. Instead of ghosting us, and so many people will do that. Like, I'm not interested.
It goes both ways, though.
But we're not talking about that way. I'm talking about this way because it's falling in line with your advice. And I'm just saying.
Yeah,
you know,
no, you're right. You're right. We do.
I mean, if she don't respond in a day, though, then she just wasn't interested. Go on to the next.
It's still, but I'm just saying.
But yeah, she should respond either way. Because you're an adult at the end of the day. Well, you should be an adult at the end of the day. So just respond. Be like, you know.
Yeah, well, we all doing
that's courtesy.
Service.
That's courtesy.
Yeah. Like, damn, we spent.
But you know what? No, we are not honest. Like, we don't have the courage to be honest anymore, to kind of say, you know what, Brandon, I had a good time, but I don't see we're a good match.
No, well, I don't think the issue is not being honest. I just don't think a lot of people don't know how to say it in a way where they don't want to hurt that person's feelings. So instead, they don't say nothing at all.
I think you're giving people more credit than they deserve. I think that since we have access to social media, people feel they don't have value because you can go on Instagram and meet and see new people every day. Mm-hmm. So like, it's like the more abundant something is, the less the value goes down. So there's all these people on the internet. You can go on Tinder, you can go on Facebook dating, you can hey, if it doesn't work out with you, guess what? Especially for you ladies, there's constantly guys in your inbox. It's just like trying to get a shot at you. So a guy that you're not interested in doesn't have really any value to you. Not enough value for you to look at him in a human way and be like, well, let me at least acknowledge him and let him know whatever. You just don't care. You just toss him away because he's just one of dozens that were after you. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Just please don't send pictures. Unsolicited.
You don't want no dick pics?
No, not unsolicited. Only asked.
I kind of get it, but then shit, if I was y'all, I'd be like, please, I want to know, because if it's not meeting my requirements, I don't want to waste my time with you. And that is an easy way to figure out. Be like, oh,
that is true, though. That is true.
What, under the clothes?
Well, don't you send dick pics?
Well, yeah, but you want to see a woman under the clothes? Like, what do you want to see? That?
No, he's saying that if we're like. No, wait, are you speaking for us?
Like,
or
you want unsolicited pics?
No.
Yeah, but even for me, I want to know. I want to see what's up, because if it's something that I'm not going to dig, I don't want no surprises
so
when I finally...
you want unsolicited body pics.
Yep. I don't mind. I'm not going to be mad. And I don't understand why y'all... I mean, I understand why you get... It's because I've had gay dudes hit me up and just send me... I'm like, oh, this is traumatic. But I don't like penises in any other... Like, no way, period. So it's very traumatic. But in my mind, if I was a female... I would low-key want them so that I could know, like, oh, you're not going to work for me because
but it's
you're not
so
girthy.
No, because just the fact that you sent it without having a conversation, without consent, without a hi, how are you? What do you do for a living?
I know they did that on Snapchat. I was like, oh, hell no.
You know what I mean? Like,
no, thank you.
I'm going to judge you. I'm going to judge your personality and your character. You doing it without us even having a connection.
I agree. Yes.
Like, if we've had a connection and you know I'm attracted to you and you know now there's a basis there, I can understand it. But if you just slide into my DM and then a couple of days later and all that stuff, you're like, wait, we're Facebook friends? Wait, I have 1,200 of them. Hold on, who are you?
Well,
no.
Did you probably ignore their first things of communication, didn't you?
That's so that's why they should send you a dick pic.
Because it was like, hi, gorgeous. If I ignored you and left you on red,
there's a reason.
There's a reason, right?
Right. So maybe
no, she didn't mean it. She just didn't get my message. Let me send her another one.
No, what that is all right. The hello didn't get it. The hello gorgeous didn't get it. Let me show her my man.
And then I block you.
Right. Yeah, now I'm going to block you. Call it a day.
But one day somebody's going to send you a pic and you're going to be like, you know what? I'm struggling here.
Send DJ Silk some vaginas, okay?
I want to know. I want to know.
But what is a skinny vagina and a fat vagina and a hairy vagina or shaved vagina? What's the difference? Vagina's vagina.
No, there's a difference.
It's inside that's the difference. Because you don't know if it's extra juicy. You don't know how wide it is. You don't know how long it is.
Yeah,
don't know how.
But there are certain looking ones that I'm like, oh, I want to. That's got me intrigued. I'm
But
thinking
it's
about,
only the outside. Like it's only.
Listen,
the
this
outside.
is just some shit we'll never understand. Okay,
No,
that's
you
just a
understand
man's
it. You understand.
I
it.
understand more titties than I understand vagina.
Yeah,
because
that
at
I
least
can
there's
understand.
titties. There's diversity in
Yes,
titties.
colors, sizes.
I mean, does it look like baloney? The areolas, like
He loves
like,
some
Yes, yes,
areolas.
yes.
Says,
Yeah.
Are they brown?
Are they
brown?
dark? Are they
brown?
light? Are they small? Are
All
they
those
big?
things. But there are certain vaginas that I look at that I'm like, I don't want to eat, and then there's some that I'm like, oh yeah,
I've
yeah.
learned something new.
Right? Yeah, that's a thing.
We need the men who listen to this podcast to comment. I'm with you, brother.
Yeah.
I totally understand
Yeah,
because
what
now I want. Now we need a poll. I want a poll to kind of see.
What's a vagina that you love to eat and which one you don't?
It's like they do on
Put 'em
IG.
here.
Yes, no, whatever. We need a poll because I want to see how many people comment.
Oh man.
Listen, but you see what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
I
it's
do,
just-
but now I need to scan the population because I
you
want to
don't
know.
believe me?
No, I just want to know what future I have. What am I dealing with?
You want to know what kind of vagina pics you should be sending out? Like, you
I
need to
don't
know
even
the
send
angle.
vagina pics. That's the thing.
Oh, you're missing out, man.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, no.
Like I had someone friend me on Facebook and I was like, oh, let me accept face,
Mhm.
Then all of a sudden they slide into my DM. Then all of a sudden it was like, oh, I want to be friends and all that stuff and this and this and this.
Mm.
And then it was like, send me pics. Sorry, I don't send pics. I'm very conservative. I only send pics to people I'm in a relationship with. Like I'm not even going to send you a pic in my church clothes. I'm not going to send pics.
Okay.
Mm.
No fun.
No.
Oh.
Nope.
No fun, Nancy over here.
Yeah.
Unless if I know you, then we can have fun.
Nah, I mean, that's very presumptuous, and then people do be doing the most. But I also think that is a function of.
I
when
think
you
if you're in a
finally get-
relationship, then you do that.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. But I really feel like the thinking is, I got your attention. I have to do what I can in this moment that I have your attention before you move on. So they're just throwing everything at you.
So
in
you
the
gotta
kitchen
show
sink.
your dick pic, bro?
Yeah.
That's just a whole nother
Can
level.
we have a discussion about current
But
events
that's-
so I can
but-
see how intelligent you
But
are?
I'm telling you, as a guy, from my perspective,
That's extreme.
it is
Hmm.
extreme. But you don't know how many times that I've like had a moment, like say, oh, I started talking to somebody like on the gram or whatever.
Mhm.
Everything's cool, and then they just disappear, like because they've just moved on, and it's like, damn. Like what happened? And then like later on, you might reconnect, and it's like, yo, what happened the last time?
Because you
It's
didn't
just
send a
like,
pic in the tub in the
Is that
in
what
the
that
hot tub.
was?
That's
Yeah,
what it was.
that's
You
what it
haven't
was.
posted hot tub pics in a
You
while.
post a
Yeah.
hot tub pic, they gonna be all
They'll
up
be
in
like,
your
"Ooh,
DMs.
wait, let me see
Yeah.
what this dude's about.
Well, all I'm saying is a lot of guys feel inclined when they get your attention. It's like the 90-second pitch. It's like, you know,
The
you get an
elevator pitch.
the elevator pitch. You get in an elevator with somebody who's influential. You have that 90 seconds to say what you need to say, and that's what they're doing. It's like, let me just throw everything at you, and hopefully you'll vibe to it.
But
And
what
like,
did you do 15, 20 years ago when we didn't have IG?
man,
when we didn't have
it's
inboxes?
a better world. You walked around with a pencil in your pocket and some paper,
And you
went
gave them
out.
your number and you
Now
took it.
that's the way we gotta go. We gotta take it back. Let's take
We're
it back.
too advanced
Let's take
to
it back
go
to
that
old
far, to
school.
go
Let's
back
take
to
it
Motherfuckers
back.
don't even want to give you your number
number. They'll
anymore.
give you your IG before they give
Right.
you their number.
Like,
Me,
I'm just
opposite.
I'm just
like,
now
I want you to
getting
find me
used
on
to that.
IG.
I used to get so offended. Like, let me get your number. They're like, where's my IG? It's
Like,
like,
no.
God damn, bitch. Why? And then, then it's like, okay, they actually responded to my DM. Okay, we're having DM conversation. And then I eventually get the number.
Because I guess the phone number is just so personal. But like me personally, I would rather give you my number than my Instagram.
Yeah,
because my
right.
Instagram is more personal to
It's
me.
pictures
versus-
and shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
I can block your number.
ASAP.
Yeah.
Right.
Granted, I could block you on Instagram too, but
No, but see, on Instagram, then I can create a whole other
right,
profile.
and I
can
know your
change
name. I can look you up.
Finsters.
Yeah,
like,
nah, I
That is
just
true.
yeah,
oh
nah.
my God.
Goodness
I feel
gracious.
so hopeless now.
Mm.
I really do.
So am I. But we did share some successful tips.
Yes, we did.
We did.
I don't know. The tips. Just I don't know. This was wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, this is awesome. Did you learn anything, Jazzy?
Yeah, I learned about the what's that hormone that you were talking about?
Oxytocin.
That
Oxytocin. Yeah.
that for us it's in for weeks.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that makes a lot of
That's
sense.
why we don't
over
need it as
here.
often and every 2 to 3
yeah, then
days.
for them it's a whole
Mhm.
different ballgame. I'm like, that makes
It
perfect.
doesn't even last long.
Makes sense.
Well, so you guys aren't even thinking right about this. So if you know it's only lasting us for 2 to 3 days, like oxytocin is the love hormone. So if you want us to fall in love, you need to fuck the hell out of us
3 to 4
times a week.
Right. So you're doing it wrong. You're spacing out. You're like, oh, I'm good. Oh, I can wait a whole another month before I fuck you. No, you need to fuck us like a lot over the course of like 2, 3, 4 days, and then we'll be in like you.
Just a nugget.
So every time she fucks you, does that add extra 3 days to it, or is the same 3 days?
No,
it strengthens it.
Yeah, it strengthens it for them, but for us, it'll take
I'm talking about for them.
Oh yeah, it will strengthen it for them, but it takes us overboard.
Oh, I believe
like
it.
I believe we'll probably get overstimulated.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah.
And I think that's where Fatal Attraction, the movie. Remember back? You said you like old movies.
Yeah. But I'm saying, if you get us there, then we crazy there with you. So just fuck us more. Yeah, just
fucking like rabbits.
See, y'all doing it wrong.
Wait, so then where does that come in? When in the beginning we were fucking like rabbits, and now we barely fuck
because we got them.
Yeah, pussy gets old.
We got them.
Old. That's why you have to be inventive. That's why I encourage people to go to swingers clubs. You don't have to swing, but just to be in an environment where it's sexually charged.
Diversity.
And
get you excited, and you want to fuck your partner.
The way we talked about, I talked about earlier about the changing up the workouts every 2 weeks. Change up your sexual routine, man. Change that playlist. Turn the lights on. And date night. Just you have to be creative.
You do have to be creative. We get too much in our rut, or we let life get in the way, and we cannot let life get in the way.
We get lazy as shit. Like, look, I know this position in this way will get you off.
And we got to get those cards. Remember those cards with the position cards?
Yeah.
From that IG guy?
Yeah.
That we talked about. Do you follow him? Mr. Playtime Prep?
I have not.
He's put together they look like Uno cards, and every card has a different position to try.
Oh, and all right, guess we're doing that one tonight. Let's try.
And I'm pretty sure you can play like a game.
Yeah.
All the things.
Nice.
Wow, an orgy game.
Oh, Jesus.
Buy the deck, cover the deck.
Yeah, you could do that.
Yeah. So oxytocin, ladies, 2 to 3 days, just fuck the hell of us. Like just a weekend.
That's a good way to end.
Yeah.
That does not mean he may fall in love with you. Okay, do not take this to heart.
No,
Okay?
I feel like he will.
No, this is where you put the surgeon with the warning.
Put the warning.
This has not been evaluated by the FDA.
That's all I'm saying. This is not.
If oxytocin is the love hormone, then you fuck the hell out of us for 2 to 3, a long weekend, and we will be in love. We will be all fucked up in the game.
All right, I'm gonna.
What if she fucks you 2-3 times in the day? Does that give her out for the weekend?
No. You gotta spread it out. I mean, it'll help. You
gotta spread it out.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday. All right, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday.
Yeah.
That's too much of a schedule at this point.
Look, if you're trying to make a motherfucker fall in love with you, respect the biology. 2 to 3 days.
It is true.
And don't go for the 3 days. Just assume it's 2. So you just have a little character.
You need a break.
Yeah, 2
Oh
days.
my goodness.
All right, J-Fix, please take us out.
All right. Follow us on all social media platforms, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook. You know what? TikTok may be banned soon, so follow us on everything else, okay? You can follow me at justslim.j.
Elsa Jalissa 723.
That's it? That's all you're going to say? Come on, a little bit longer because, the little graphic comes up.
Oh, Elsa Jalissa 723. Follow me. Friend me.
I feel like I need to do that over.
Yeah.
Hey, Elsa, where can we find you?
You can find me on Instagram. My handle is Elsa Jalissa 723.
Okay.
Come on board. Look around. Just don't touch anything.
And don't ask for no goddamn pictures because she's not going to send you.
I'm not going to send you no pictures.
You going to wear, you got your Easter dress with little white frilly socks? You going to do that?
Not yet.
What about you, Jazz?
No.
That's kinky as hell. And I just thought about that. Easter dress.
You want her to dress up as a rabbit for you?
No.
With the little frilly socks. I'm gonna come watch. I'm going to come to the house.
I got the socks. I got them.
Yeah. Anyway, you can follow me at DJ Silk on Instagram. So click on the link in the bio. So thank you so much. This was a long one.
Mm-hmm.
Was it long?
Yeah,
2 hours and
9:18.
45 minutes.
Oh, this is probably like a 3 episode. Don't be surprised you see us for 3 weeks.
I like that. I like it a lot.
Oh, God. Here we go.
Anyway, until the next time, this is the Cultured Misfits. We are out.
Bye.
Bye.